Hello, 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 hello. Well, welcome to the best damn lunch and learn ever.
The best ever?
I mean, the best ever.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. We're going to drop some online dating knowledge for you today. The wonderful, entailed, and hilarious Erika Ettin on the show.
Oh my God, so much pressure.
We were just talking when she came in. Like, I'm telling you, everything was crazy. People couldn't drive today.
I had issues getting, it's my fault.
No.
If there's any stress, it's I just walked in because my GPS kept telling me to take exits that didn't exist.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it was crazy for me driving. I mean, there's people just not paying attention, just going over the road. I said, there are lanes for a reason.
Yeah, that's normal. DC
Right.
driving, I think.
That's true. Right, exactly. I'm like, it hasn't rained yet.
Well, like one drip of rain and people get confused.
I did a really funny video about how people forget that the brakes on the left and the gas is on the right. I think I'm gonna have to repost it.
Okay. I would enjoy that.
It's really, because I was like, doesn't matter, it's raining. But anyway, so, well, hey guys, so welcome. This is gonna be a ton of information on online dating profiles.
Get your notepads ready.
Get your notepads out, okay? And so share with your friends. Make sure you like us on Facebook. And so Erika started A Little Nudge. So tell us a little bit about the company. I'll give you a little bit of background on Erika.
Okay, so I started A Little Nudge in 2011. Which let's think about that. Pre-Tinder. Tinder came out in 2012. Yeah. So my background's actually in economics, so it's not like I studied like online dating, you know, in school or anything. But
I'm just gonna share this on here. Keep going.
oh yeah, sure. So I was a very early adopter of online dating. I started in 2001 when nobody did online dating. Just think about that.
I
Nobody.
mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm crazy.
No, I love it. No, she's funny. I love her.
Oh, thanks. But I was like, oh, this seems cool. Anyway, so since my background's in economics, this is the very abridged version, combined my interests of numbers and online dating, started a spreadsheet of my own online dating experience, and then I made little tweaks. Like, if I do this, do I get a better response rate? If I do this, do I convert that person into a date? And I started, I mean, it's never gonna be a perfect, I'm gonna dork out for a sec. It's never gonna be a perfect controlled experiment because nothing about people is controlled. And, you know, you might like me on a Monday and not on a Tuesday. Like, nothing is controlled. But I tried the best I could to make little tweaks and see what worked. Then my friends started asking me for help. I realized, boy, am I miserable in my finance job, but boy, do I like doing this.
Yeah.
So I quit my job in early 2011, started A Little Nudge, and what I do is I help people with online dating, both marketing themselves and saving time, and coaching people through the process.
Yeah, and then also we're going to talk a lot about her dating concierge too. Her services. I mean, that is brilliant.
Thank you.
I know. So yeah. So I will let's go talk about the difference. So one of my first questions. So obviously online dating 101. I think problem is a lot of people are scared.
That's true.
You know, they're a little bit nervous to really put themselves out there.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, I have a hair on my
It's fine.
This is what live is, right?
Yeah, it's live. We're good.
People are nervous. I would say younger people aren't as nervous because especially millennials grew up on the internet, so it's not like that's a new concept. But some of my older clients who were married for a long time now aren't. Either they're widowed or divorced. It is scary to put yourself out there. And some people only do it half-heartedly. Like, they'll be like, I'll try online dating.
Just dip my toe in the dating pool.
If you're only dipping your toe, what are you putting out there, right? Probably not the best thing you could be putting out there. So I always just tell people it's no different than meeting someone at the supermarket, on the airplane. In fact, it's better because you have more information on them.
That's actually a good point. Yeah.
So you can meet crazies or amazing people anywhere. I might be a crazy. I am, definitely.
I love
but I'm just saying,
we all have a little crazy.
well, exactly.
Makes this interesting.
But online dating is no different. People say, oh, I'm so much better in person. Who's not, right? But it's just a tool to meet someone. It's not like you're dating on the computer or on the phone. You're just using it as a tool to get to in person.
Yeah, exactly. And so, well, that's interesting you say that too, because there are so many dating apps.
There are a ton of dating apps.
I mean, how would we even sift through it?
I don't know. I have a lot of them on my phone to show my clients, but so the first one out there ever was Grindr for gay men. Tinder copied Grindr. I mean, everything, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right? If something's doing well, you're gonna get copiers.
Right.
All of them are pretty much based on the Tinder philosophy. Swipe left, swipe right. Hinge changed their concept. They call themselves a relationship app now, and instead of swiping, you basically like click a button.
Okay.
Oh,
So you're clicking.
You're clicking.
Clicking.
Let's see. Each one is a little bit of a different concept on the same thing. Coffee meets bagel, very similar, but instead of a match, you get a bagel.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I like bagels.
Who doesn't like bagels? I was just in New York.
Oh, you were?
I gotta tell you, the pizza and bagels.
Don't get me started.
Okay. Anyway,
now I'm hungry.
I am too. I know. Anyway, so coffee meets bagel, you get just a few matches a day. The League, very similar, but it's for generally more well-educated people, and they say they vet their people. Happen is another one. Have you heard of Happen?
No.
Happn. I call it both creepy and convenient. It tells you how many times you physically crossed paths with somebody.
Stop it. Does anyone know about this? Put it in the comments.
It's not terribly, it's not the most popular. I mean, I would say.
Is it new?
No.
No.
I would say, no, at least a few years. I would say.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, I only know it's been out for a few years because I made a good friend who I met. We went on one date, and now we're great friends. And that was probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
And let's see, what else is there? Bumble, which is a copy of Tinder, but the woman has to write first. It was started by a
woman,
a former Tinder
employee.
Oh,
was she? Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But a woman.
Yeah.
Yes. So I mean, you have niche sites. You have J-Swipe. You have. I think it's called Raza. I forgot what it's called. I applied and got rejected because it's for celebrities. But I'm like, a celebrity. Raya, that's what it's called.
Raya.
You have all kinds. There's Meld if you're black and you're looking for someone else. I mean, there's Jewish, there's Christian, there's anything you could possibly
mingle,
want.
There's what are some of the other ones they have out there? I've seen OkCupid. Apparently that's a big one.
Well, OkCupid has a great app, so I'm just talking about apps that are only on your phone, where you don't log into a computer. You're only on your phone. Okay. There's just so many sites.
There's so many sites. And well, you know what's funny? I always love telling this story because it's marketing, right? Farmers only. Okay, it's brilliant. I mean, because you're talking about, they know if you want a farmer or a farming lifestyle, that is the app to go to. I mean, you couldn't have a more direct to customer.
Oh,
right?
I know. And their ads all have pitchforks. I find it hilarious.
But it's great branding, great marketing. You know?
It is. I mean, if you find the right niche, that's great. Like, and I tell people always ask, how do I know which site to do? Now that we've named 300 sites.
They're all on them. All of them, most of them.
Well,
repeat.
So that's true. I mean, I tell people not to do more than 2.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, you kind of get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You know, people, especially the self-selecting group that comes to me for help, does tend to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And
that's why you have the day concierge service.
Exactly. But like, I don't want someone to open their app, see too much going on, and then close it and never actually do it. So 2 is kind of.
I think that's actually a good strategy. I mean, for sure. I mean, I have 2. I don't have any of the other. Well, I actually have 3, but I only really use 2.
Yeah,
so because you're just trying to,
it
does get overwhelming.
It does get overwhelming.
Oh wait, did I go in there? Like, have I not checked it? I need
to.
Are
my notifications on? All of that.
I don't keep that.
I do not. So it's just, and then I tell people if there is a certain niche, like if you are only looking for someone of whatever it is, a certain religion or ethnicity or whatever it is, farmer.
Farmer.
Then use that site because it's one thing you don't have to search for.
Right.
You know, I have plenty of clients on niche sites, and it's nice because it's one thing they just don't have to filter for.
Yeah. I want to do one regarding horoscopes. I don't know.
You will not find me on that.
I know. I know.
Sorry.
I'm telling you, there's something basis. I always had this conversation about like how certain people are better matches, and I went and everyone's like, oh yeah, well I know this person, I know that person. So I was like, oh, that is so brilliant.
I think there would be a good market for that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Don't try to take it because I'm gonna do it.
I won't try. I'm not into horoscopes.
I wasn't talking to you.
That's what I like though. We're different.
I know. I love it. It's true.
I know. People are always like the universe. I don't believe in the universe. I believe in hard work.
Yeah. I believe in both.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. So let's talk about. I want to go back on the fear thing because I think I really want to dive deeper into that because I think people are so fearful. And what are some of the steps that we can take to not be so fearful on online dating?
I mean, there are safety measures you can take. Meet someone in a public place. If you don't want to, don't give them your last name. Stuff like that. Use your common sense. I mean, your gut is probably right.
Right.
But other than that, I don't tell people, look, innocent until proven guilty. I don't tell people to go in assuming someone's not going to be safe.
Right.
You know, I tell people to go in, assume it's just like any other person they would meet, keep their wits about them.
Yeah. And
that's it. Go meet a new person in a public place.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to go through the motions to get to a place.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a weird analogy, but I went to business school at night when I was in that finance job. And I didn't think, I mean, that's a lot of work. I wasn't sure I wanted to go, but I filled out the application.
Right.
Then I sent it in. Then I got accepted. And then I'm like,
I went,
I guess I'm going. And it's kind of similar. Like sometimes you just have to go through the motions. Put the website in your browser.
Yeah.
That might be one step.
Right.
You know, come up with a username. Like on Match.com, you still need a username. You don't on OkCupid anymore. What's yours?
No,
What's your favorite one? Okay.
So when I was on Match a while ago, I'm not on it now, but and I was on there a long time ago. I said, all right, I'm gonna put in username as your username, and it went through.
That's funny.
I said nobody else thought that. That'd be funny.
That's funny.
And then so I know because I like humor. I mean, humor trumps a lot for me. And so when people would email me like, "Oh, that's not really that creative," I'm like, "Okay, like clearly you don't get."
Why are they
humor.
writing to you to insult you?
Right, and that's the other thing.
None of that.
Like, it's a PS.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, but usernames are important. So that could be one step. Write your profile in a Word document before you go on there, because it's very scary to see this empty blank box and say, oh my God, I have to summarize myself in X characters or less.
Yeah.
You know, write it out. Make some edits.
Yeah.
I've always written profiles for myself and for all of my clients.
Yeah.
Just in a document, so that way we can edit. Before.
Yeah, and then also, have someone else read it or write it for you. Like if you find it hard, to do it, right?
I mean, that's what I do, right? Because it is hard to write about yourself. Even if you're the best writer in the world, when it comes to writing about yourself, it's hard to know, one, what makes you unique, and two, that fine line between, I don't want to brag, even though I'm awesome,
love it.
but I also don't want to downplay myself. So it sometimes does take another person to recognize what makes you you, and then to write it in such a way that lets that piece of you shine.
Yeah. And I think when this is a username, because you talk a lot about this too, like being aware of what you can tell from someone's username.
Oh, well, I had a fit when OkCupid got rid of usernames because it's a good way to screen people. If someone says always lonely, I'm probably not going to write to that person, or something about their anatomy.
Like swagger or something.
Or
I saw something. I was like,
well hung dude. Probably not. Well, who knows? But excuse me. But you do learn a lot in a study. I can't remember if it was by Match or not. A study a few years.
My dad.
Oh,
he does
hi,
Ricky. Come on, you're in trouble later. My dad always completely forgets.
Hi, Dad.
Ricky.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if you start a username in the first half of the alphabet, like A to L, they say it does better.
Oh, interesting. Okay, write that down. So if you start a username with A through L, it ranks better. That's interesting.
I thought so too. I never really heeded that advice, but I thought it was certainly interesting. Yeah. I don't know who would line up profiles alphabetically, because generally you want to line them up who's most active or who's most recently active on the site.
Interesting.
But I did think it was interesting. I've had different ones over the years.
What'd you have?
Class Sass Whiskey. That was my last one.
That's actually really good.
I love that one.
I know.
Hot. And whiskey was without an E, because anyone who knows Scotch knows that you don't spell it with an E, so it got actual whiskey, Scotch lovers.
Oh, there you go.
Very exciting for me.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about at noon. But baby steps.
Yeah.
Because that way you could just copy and paste into that blank box. Even if you're doing Tinder or Bumble or anything with a very short profile, still write that outside. So for Tinder or Bumble, I recommend only 20 to 40 words. Anything more than that is too much. People don't have the attention span. So just like in the newspaper where you want to keep the good stuff above the fold, you want to keep your profile on someone's screen. So less is more.
Right. I mean, you still have to write a description. I mean, I see the ones that don't even write anything. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's an automatic
that's
swipe.
pass.
Yeah, that's an automatic swipe left for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, something simple. Maybe it's bullets about your life. Maybe it's things you like to do. Maybe it's...
And emoticons, because you can do
emoji, whatever you want. Not too many emojis, because
I'm
that
just
long
saying.
string, nobody reads that. But yeah, I mean, a list of things you are, like in the past, you know, I've always experimented, because that's what I like to do, with my own profile, and I've listed things, you know, entrepreneur, Scotch lover, dog owner, pun maker, whatever it is.
Our puns are funny.
I do make a lot of puns. I was in New York for a pun competition.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Let's do that. All right, tell us.
That wasn't in the plan.
That wasn't in the plan. But
well, there are pun competitions, which I discovered a couple years ago. There's one in DC actually on Thursday.
Really?
I have extra tickets. You want to go?
I could go.
Okay, let me know.
Yeah.
I bought 4 tickets and haven't.
Oh wait, my parents are in town, but we'll talk.
I have 3 extra tickets. Anyway, the one in DC is called Pun DMV, and the one in New York is called Punderdome. And
Punderdome? That's probably one of the best names ever.
It is, and I may or may not have gone to. I may or may not have flown to one in Austin, an annual contest. I did. I sure did. It's just so fun.
Yeah.
So like, they're all structured differently, but sometimes you'll get a topic and you just have to like go, pun.
Well, you know, I saw you on your Facebook. I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
It's
the one in Austin. I didn't want to.
I love myself some puns. I don't know where that. My dad probably his dad jokes, but
I know.
Yesterday was his birthday, and I called him, and he said it was buy 1 dozen ears of corn, get a dozen free. And I'm thinking, what are my parents gonna do with 24 ears of corn? And I said to my dad, well, I guess he'll hear well. Oh, I'm sorry, it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, let's get back to online dating.
Okay, all right. So what are some of the do's, and then we'll get into the don'ts of online dating. If you guys have questions, just drop them in the comments too.
Yep.
Anything for online dating and just dating in general.
I might have to put on my glasses to read them.
Anyway,
so do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts.
Let's talk about pictures. Everyone knows the pictures are the most important. No secret. I don't care if you're on Tinder, eHarmony. Pictures are the most important. So I only recommend 4 or 5 pictures.
Yep.
Do you know how many pictures Match allows?
Probably like 30.
That's pretty close. Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Bueller?
26. 26 pictures.
That's a lot.
That's crazy talk.
That is
Nobody
crazy
should have that many. I mean,
it's not.
If you post 26 pictures, I automatically think you're a little self-absorbed, right? Who has that? Anyway. And then you get into pictures that aren't even in the person.
Yeah, or like, where's Waldo?
Right, and that's not advice. So here's what I advise for the 4 to 5 pictures. 1, clear shot of your face. That's picture number 1.
And smiling.
Smiling, yes.
Smiling first picture.
Definitely smiling. There is a weird study by OkCupid that said that women prefer men who look aloof. I disagree. I know it's based on science, and I love science, but smile. Yeah.
Please.
Another picture should be a full body.
Ooh.
Because if you only show the top of your body, people assume what the rest of you looks like, and it's not generally a positive assumption. When people have the liberty to fill in information, they fill it in with the worst case scenario. That's human nature.
Right.
So another picture of you doing something interesting. So, for example, you might be in front of a microphone. Right. That's interesting, because then it generates questions. I call that message bait. You know,
I like that, message bait.
Message bait.
Oh, we gotta talk about that too.
Sure. Someone can ask questions about it. They feel brilliant because they've asked you, oh, what are you doing? Are you giving a TED Talk? Do you have a podcast? Whereas, really, you're brilliant because you planted it there. Right? So that's really important. You want to make sure your photos are clear. You want to make sure. Okay, let's talk about whether you should be with friends or not.
I don't think so.
No. Someone's always going to find your friend more attractive. I'm sorry, but it's true. Because everyone has different taste. And 2, like you said, where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to guess
which one is that. Or another woman in the picture.
Right, and no one has time. No one makes time to say, oh, I'm going to scroll through all these pictures just to see which one you are. It's just, don't do that. So for the pictures, like I said, 4 to 5. Clear shot of your face, full body, you doing something interesting. Beyond that, anything else you feel great in. Little things, if you have a pet and you want to put the pet in the picture, great. Don't just put a picture of the animal. because we don't know if that's your animal, and
You're borrowing it.
Oddly enough, people are borrowing dogs. I don't get it.
Stop.
I don't get it. I tell all of my friends
They're
never,
borrowing dogs.
No, like it'll be a friend's dog.
And like I like pets.
Yeah, but
it's not mine.
it's strange to me.
Yeah.
And look at your pictures periodically and remember what you put up there, because sometimes
Yeah.
people will make comments on your pictures. It's happened before where I've commented on a picture and someone will be like, "How did you know that?" I'm like, "It's in the picture."
Ooh,
So don't forget what you put in your profile and your pictures. But less is more when it comes to the pictures. People would rather see 4 good ones than 26
Like,
4 are good and the
the
rest
rest-
are
right.
mediocre, because they won't rate because of it, and we don't want to do that.
Right.
Like I said, for the app profiles, for the dues, 20 to 40 words.
Yep.
For a
20 to 40 words.
Yep, for a Match.com profile, err on the side of shorter. I like 2 very brief paragraphs about you and 1 very brief paragraph about what you're looking for. A paragraph could be 3 sentences. More about you than what you're looking for. It's a huge pet peeve when someone just writes what they're looking for, because then it's like, what do you have to offer?
Right,
What
exactly.
What do you bring to the table?
Yeah, right. What are you going to bring to the relationship?
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Or
then
the
don't
date.
be negative in the descriptions.
That's another one. Yep. So a lot of people will say things at the end like, "I don't want this. If you're a player, move along. If you
I don't want drama."
Yeah, anything with Trump, this isn't gonna work. Which, whether I agree or not, I do. Just keep it positive.
Yeah,
just
be positive.
Just if you're looking for a serious relationship, instead of saying I'm not looking for a one-night stand or I'm not looking for a player, say I'm looking for a committed relationship.
Yeah, turn it into a positive.
Right, and if you scare someone away with that, they're meant to be scared away. It's okay. I will say another do is to, I guess it's sort of a don't. Well, be unique. Don't be generic. So a lot of people think, well, I don't want to turn anyone off. So I'm going to say all the things that I think people want to hear, which leads to these profiles like, I'm just as happy going out as I am staying in.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
I love dressing up. I also love dressing down.
Pick one.
I love to travel. My family is so important to me. So could you say all of those things? I could say all of those things for sure. But that doesn't make us unique.
No.
Like, tell me one thing about you. Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, it's
that
fine.
you think people don't know.
I don't know if you know this. I actually, in 2005, won an ESPN reality show.
What? Okay, that needs to go in the
Okay.
profile.
All right,
So something like that. That's message bait, because I'm going to ask you about
Yeah,
it.
it was awesome.
That's amazing. I love it. So everyone has a thing like that,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I'm not updated with us.
you'll kill. I mean, honestly, that will kill, because people want to know the thing that makes you different, because they want something to talk about. Because if you just have that generic profile, it's like, I love life too.
Yay.
Jazz hands. So just be yourself.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Song.
Oh yeah.
Be yourself.
What is that song?
Some movie.
Okay.
But anyway,
So those are do's. Should we do don'ts?
So don'ts, yes.
I mean, they're kind of similar.
Yeah.
Hey Nancy.
Don't forget to drop your comments in, because we want to make sure we answer all your questions on online dating or dating in general.
We sure do.
We sure do.
Don't put up a profile and then never reach out to anyone. A lot of people think, well, I put the profile up, I'm online dating.
Yeah.
No, that's half the battle. The other half is, of course, reaching out to somebody. So you want to make sure that you're proactive in the process. A lot of people, particularly women, particularly my clients, my female clients over about 50, are like, well, I don't want to be the aggressor. But you're not the aggressor. It's simply just catching someone's attention and letting that person know you're interested.
Right, and then smiling. I'll tell a story. You keep going.
Yeah.
I'll tell a story.
But I don't care who you are, male, female, just send a message to express your interest in someone. You're not saying, oh my God, we have to go out. No, but you're saying, you caught my attention. What should a message look like? Well, maybe I'm jumping ahead.
No, keep going.
I want to hear your smile story.
Okay, smile story. Okay, so, I always so in real life, right? Like, so there was this hottie up in the gym on Saturday.
I love hotties in the gym.
I mean, I was like, you must not remember you here, right? And so I've never seen you before, right? And so I was like, at first it kind of like took me off guard, and so I was like, kept on, walking, and I ran into a friend of mine, so we were talking, and then I walked back, and I smiled, right? And he just kind of looked like shocked. I don't think people are smiling.
I don't think so either. Like people are in their phone, on their headphones.
Like they don't. I mean, I looked at it. He didn't have a ring. Oh, there we go. Okay. We're back. I don't know what happened.
That's okay.
Sorry.
But that's true. I mean, so much is what you put out there.
Yeah.
Like so many people say, well, how do you meet someone in real life?
Yeah.
Smile. Be open. Don't be stuck in your phone. Let's say you're in line at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Rather than being in your phone because it's a crutch. It's
Yeah.
easy to be on Instagram.
100%.
Right? It's less easy to be open to talking to new people. Start a conversation. It doesn't have to be a profound conversation. It could be, have you ever tried the whatever the new latte is?
Right.
Is it any good?
The rainbow one. No, it sucks. Remember that one?
The unicorn
Or
one?
unicorn. The unicorn one. It was like, oh.
I do enjoy pumpkin spice latte.
No, those are
not gonna lie. But just be open to that because you're always putting yourself out there. I mean, that's like, I had a conversation with a male client the other day about his clothing.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that.
And I said, well, what are you wearing when you go to work? What are you wearing when you go to the gym? I said, I know what you're wearing on dates, and I've kind of approved that.
Yeah.
But what are you wearing just in life? And he's like, oh, well, I'm not looking to meet anyone in life, so I'm just wearing my crappy stuff. And I'm like, oh, no. You're always making an impression. You're always putting yourself out there. And the better you feel about how you look, the better impression you'll be making. So we had to have a whole talk. So that's what you're saying with the smiling.
Yeah. Pushing out outside your comfort zone, right? Like putting that phone
And just
down.
being open.
Yeah, just being open. I think that's the other thing too, is like being open in relationship or wanting love or wanting a relationship. You got to be open to it, right? Like being,
Exactly. And just to having experiences. I don't care if you're you shouldn't always be talking to people you're interested in. You should just be talking to people. I mean, I talk to women, men, children, dogs, always dogs.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just really important to do that.
Yeah.
Just to have that open mind.
Yeah, and human connection too, obviously.
Absolutely.
You know, don't stay in your house all day.
Yeah, someone's not going to find you on
No,
your couch.
exactly. It's going to be going a little
I'm
bit
sure
hard.
it's comfy, but no one's going to find you there.
No.
So.
And that makes you make a good point about, dressing up. I think, if you are coming out of a relationship or just you need a makeover, like,
Sure.
I mean, get a new haircut, buy some new clothes,
Or it
get your
makes
makeup
you feel
done.
good about
Yeah,
yourself.
feel good about yourself, and gives you that extra boost of confidence. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
I mean, confidence is key.
Yeah.
Getting a new haircut, getting a blowout, you have to feel like $1 million.
Well, yeah, and confidence, it comes from, because it's going to sound real cheesy, but it comes from within.
Right.
Like, I don't care what you look like.
Right.
If you are exuding confidence, I'm going to be drawn to you. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And that's true in life. And that's what I tell my clients all the time. Like, they're like, oh, I'm not that attractive or not that, who cares? I'm realistic about what I look like, what we all look like. But if you're putting the best version of yourself out there, no one even notices.
Yeah, because you're confident. I mean,
Right.
confidence is sexy.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
I know what I was going to say.
What?
So I made a little New Year's resolution for myself this year, and I think this is a good one to tell people. It's about kind of being open. When you're out to dinner or out at coffee or whatever with a friend, and they get up to use the restroom, don't check your phone.
Yeah, let's try it.
That's it. I like to observe because I also find it to be, it's something I really dislike, and I tell my clients not to do this. If their date gets up and they're on their phone, I find it very frustrating when I get back on a date and the guy is looking at his phone because I automatically think he's looking for better plans. Of course he's not. It's fine.
Right.
He's on Facebook. But
It's true.
But
That's a really good point.
it's a
'cause you walk out
distraction.
Like, what?
And it takes you out of the moment. So yeah, that's a challenge. Try to just sit there, observe, see what happens.
Yeah, and take your and actually, can you imagine going to lunch by yourself and not having your phone out?
I think that's a great idea.
I'm serious, because for work, if you go out to lunch and just sit there and just kind of look around, I mean,
Yeah.
I think you could.
You never know who you might meet. Once I went to dinner by myself here. I really like ramen. And you can really only get a seat at this one place if you're by yourself, like quickly.
Okay.
So I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
So I sit down at a corner and I pull out my crossword puzzle, right? And then I start to ask the guy next to me for help. I
Thank you, Doc. Okay,
Oh,
there we're back.
there we are.
I don't know what's going on. The Wi-Fi is all crazy, but I have my signal. I don't know.
Oh, anyway,
Here we are. Okay, so let's talk about messaging.
Yes.
Okay, so because a lot of people now you both matched each other.
Yep.
Right, what do you write?
Good
And
question.
who should write and who should, so because some people think, oh, the guy's gotta write.
Let's wipe that out. If you match on any of the apps, just write. Don't wait. Studies have shown that I'm sorry to generalize, but it's based on research.
Okay.
That men are less patient than women. So as a woman, if we wait more than 6 hours to message a guy, he's probably already done. Yeah. But we're a little more patient. I know that's an overgeneralization, but it's not frowned upon to write immediately upon getting a match. While it's fresh, who cares? None of his gaming stuff, you know?
Right.
I text people back immediately, and I don't care what people say about that. Like,
Right.
I text people back when I see it. And if they think I'm too available because of that, that's fine.
not your human.
I don't care. I'm attached to my phone, just like everyone else.
Yeah, I got, and we'll get on that.
Former conversation
Yeah.
aside. So, if you're on the dating apps, if someone has something like date in there, just ask a question about it. You know, I would ask a question about your ESPN thing because that's really interesting and different. And that's an easy one, and then that's a conversation.
A good banter. I like that.
Now, if they have nothing of interest in there, then you have to be a little more creative. The worst thing you can do is, hey, what's up? How's your day? How's your weekend? How are you? Those are 5 questions that lead to very boring conversations. Sometimes just for fun, I'll see how long the boring can go.
Oh, right.
I asked for 4.
All right, there we go. We're back.
We're back. What were we talking about?
So, message rate. The 5 things
yeah.
you shouldn't write.
Oh yeah, don't write those.
Don't write like hi.
Because then it turns into, how are you? Good. You? Fine. You know, it just doesn't do anything. So if you have to pull something from nothing, just be creative. You can ask like emojis for this, like pizza emoji or sushi emoji. You know, maybe
that's a
people
good
are very
idea.
particular about their. What do you think?
Yeah. What, pizza? Or no, sushi. I mean, I like both.
I like both. It's win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
You could do a coffee or beer, you know.
Right.
You could say, what do you like to do on Sundays? Sleep in or, run 10 miles?
Yeah.
Definitely sleep in. Are you more of a mimosa or a Bloody Mary person?
Yeah.
Just ask an interesting question. Like,
we're back. So I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi, but but we're still gonna keep on going here. So all right. So some other message.
Right. So, or, if there was something big in the city going on, ask about that. Just something of substance versus, hey, how are you? Hi. Now, if you're on Match.com, OkCupid, eHarmony, one of the sites where you can actually log into your computer and write something a little more, a little longer, a little more thoughtful, I recommend 3 parts to every good message. 1, something about the profile that caught your attention. Hey, wow. That's pretty neat that you were in this ESPN, what was it, reality?
Yeah, sports
reality show. Then something about how it relates to you, or doesn't relate to you. Nothing about sports, but that sounds like it must have been quite the experience.
That's actually a great point.
And then ask a question. How does one get into reality TV? So that's a message right there. All you have to do is latch on to one thing in the person's profile, talk about it, how it relates to you, ask a question at the end.
There you go. There's your tip right there.
It's so easy. You don't have to address everything in the profile, nor should you. Just one thing. And I like to find, people.
Why? Okay, now it's back. Okay. All right, 4 times the charm.
Yeah, what's going on? Can you tell us what it looks like from your end?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Are we cutting off every time?
No, I don't. Yeah, are we cutting off or you can hear us because it keeps saying Wi-Fi is having issues. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So keep going.
Messages. I think we were done with messages.
Messages. Yeah. So just just keep and come up with this. If there's a cool picture, if they're traveling, where was that?
Exactly.
That looks really fun. Or
right. And then don't message for the rest of eternity. Right. No more than about 3 back and forth on each side before you schedule a date. So if you're on the dating apps, Tinder, whatever it is, Bumble, within a week, so my rules of thumb are you match on Monday, by the next Monday have something set up. You don't have to meet within the week, just have something set up. If you're on OkCupid, Match, no more than 3.
We're back.
We're
okay,
back.
All right.
Oh boy.
Okay.
No more than 3, what was this? No more than 3 messages each back and forth. And then schedule a date, because who has time? Who has time for this pen pal business, right?
Yeah, that's what I
was
saying.
A lot of my female clients will say to me, well, I don't want to be the one to initiate the date. I get it, of course. Fine, me neither. But there are ways, just assume the other person doesn't know when it's appropriate to ask, because that's usually the case.
Yeah.
So you can say things like, that's a great question. I probably couldn't do it justice over email. maybe we should meet.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I'm really enjoying
love
this
you,
conversation. Should we?
That's what she said. It's like two favorite. We love you, Esther.
I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Right.
Maybe we should meet over coffee or a drink.
Yeah.
You know, it's not an overt like, why aren't you asking me out? No, it's just like, let's take this to the next step.
Right.
So I am not a fan of a phone call before a date. I know people are in two very different camps about that, but the reason is two reasons. One, it's delaying the inevitable. Just go meet. You don't know if you have chemistry till you meet. Two, not everyone's good on the phone.
That's true.
You know, and if you're judging just based on someone's voice, you don't get facial expression. You don't get body language. You don't get any of that. So I don't recommend the phone call. I would rather you find the time to meet than find the time to have a call. Now, obviously, there are caveats. You know, some of my clients have, you know, several children. It's not so easy to always go meet, and it's a screening mechanism. But in general, I do recommend just scheduling the date on the dating app. Oh, okay. Now I'm going off on a thing about text.
Okay.
I call texting the death of the first date. So, a lot of people on the apps will say, hey, let's text, it'll make it easier. It doesn't make it easier. You know, you could still just log into the app and have that conversation.
Right.
So, exactly. And I can't reference the profile if they're in my text. So, because more often than not, someone starts texting and then it devolves into this text abyss and the date never happens.
Oh,
so
that's true.
I recommend scheduling the date on the app and then a day before the date, giving your number and saying, in case you need to reach me tomorrow, here's my number.
That's a good point. Write that down.
Because I've had it happen to both clients and myself,
Okay.
where if I do too soon, I get this deluge of texts, and inevitably one is something I don't like, and then the date doesn't happen.
Right.
And I was experimenting with that because that's what I do recently with someone I was planning to go out with who asked for my number, and normally I would say, here's what I say. I say, you know, it helps me stay organized if I keep everything in the app, but let's schedule a time to meet. This time I said, let me see if I can prove myself right or wrong. So I gave my number. Oh my God.
We were back.
So he just wouldn't stop texting, and this was my own experiment, so I just kept going with it. And then one night at 2:30 in the morning, or morning, I guess, I got like, hey, what are you up to? And I wrote back, we do not know each other. Don't ever text me at 2:30 in the morning again. I'm gonna pass on meeting.
Yeah.
So, not that I was happy to prove myself right, but don't text before the date. That's it.
Yeah. Or like, well, they'll say, what do you think about make sure that's...
I always assume it's the person.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't go in assuming the worst.
Right,
like we talked about before.
Yeah, because I've had people who have said, oh yeah, we went there, it wasn't even the same person.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a catfish situation.
Catfish, and then, or they like the pictures were old. Like,
well, I think we've all had that happen, and that's unfortunate because it's a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, and I think it already sets it up for failure.
Of course it does. You're not going to win someone over. Don't lie.
Right.
Exactly. Here's what I have to say about that. Don't lie about your age.
Yep.
Don't lie.
And we're back.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
Yippee. Okay. Texting.
Texting.
I forgot already.
I know.
I'm losing it.
Yeah. And then about the pictures too, or
don't lie. You're never gonna win someone over when you get there. No, if you've lied about height, age, anything like that, it will come out. It's a bad idea. My older clients often ask me about lying about their age, and I say point blank, no. How would you feel if your date did that?
Right, you wouldn't like it.
No, of course not. You can rationalize and say all day, oh, it would be fine, I would understand. But the reality of it is, a lie is a lie, and where does it stop? I mean,
this is how you're starting out. Like, that's
exactly.
not good.
I've luckily only had one experience where the person egregiously lied. It was 7 years on age and about 5 inches on height. Now, I don't care about height. I'm 5'1". We're here.
We're here. Okay, where we go?
As I was saying, I like short men. Because I'm short. But what I don't like is...
Yeah, no.
Now, I'm in a league of my own in that I call people out on their stuff immediately, which I recommend to everybody.
Yeah.
I have so many clients, male and female, who are like, well, I was thinking this. Did you say it? No. Nobody's a mind reader. So I actually walked in and said, you're not 5'7". And he goes, well, I'm 5'5". I said, you're not. I mean, we were looking eye to eye. And the thing is, I wouldn't have cared.
Right.
I would have liked him. Like, I prefer to look good.
Come on back. There we are.
Here
Come
we
on
are.
back. Yeah.
So, long story short, or long story long, called him out. We still sit down. I know he's divorced, and I asked if he has children. It's an innocent question. He goes, I should tell you something.
Okay.
It's never good when someone says, I should tell you something, right? He had said he was 39. I think he was 46. And, like, again, I may not have cared. But I certainly cared about the lying, and he apologized. And I said, look, I don't want your apology. I just don't want you to do this to anyone else. And the thing is, I would have liked him, but I couldn't get around that.
Yeah.
So don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't lie. Be you. Be yourself. Don't be a representative.
Be you.
Yeah, be you. Hashtag that on Twitter. Be you.
Not P-U.
Yeah, no.
Or B-O. Okay. What's the
you.
next question?
Oh.
Too much fun. Having too much fun.
Too much fun. We are. Can we please stop the bathroom selfies?
Yes. Stop the bathroom selfies. I just wrote an article about 5 women's dating pet peeves.
Oh.
And it wasn't bad. I said shirtless selfies.
Yeah.
Just don't. Just don't. Studies have shown that after 25, nobody wants to see your stomach. I mean, I'm not making this up, right?
Science.
You peak at 25. Not that your body peaks. It's just that people's desire for that peaks.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So don't do it. I don't care that you're in shape. You know, I do care that you're in shape, but I want to see you in a sweater or polo shirt or a shirt of any if you're on the beach. Because it's kind of like, I don't want to see how the recipe gets made. I want to see the meal. Yeah. If you are the meal, then I don't want to see you at the gym. I don't need to see how it gets made.
Unless you're the hottie that I saw.
True.
I mean.
But seriously, I mean, hopefully the point of going to a gym is to be healthy and to look good, right? We're all kind of superficial in that way.
Make your brain work better.
Yeah, your brain works better. But we don't want to...
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Okay.
All right, so it keeps dropping a lot. Hey, Rob, how are you? Rob's awesome.
Hi, awesome. Rob.
He's awesome. He's so talented. He does Possible 3.
Really?
Yeah, no, he's awesome.
Neat.
Yeah. So anyway, so we keep losing Wi-Fi. We don't know what's going on here. It's like so. But anyway, we're gonna keep talking. If not, we're gonna hop over on Instagram in a minute. But so let's talk about your dating concierge service as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I offer a service called the Platinum Nudge, where you essentially outsource your online dating to me.
Think about that.
What does that mean?
What does that mean to you?
That means, first of all, I write your profile. I get you some professional.
Oh, we are back. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
As I was saying, we get your profile, some professional pictures. If you're in the DC area, I take your pictures. If you're elsewhere, then I have photographers. I then manage 2 of your accounts for you for 3 months. I message people on your behalf. Crazy. You obviously have to have a lot of trust in me to do this. My goal is not to fool anyone. My goal is to get you on dates that you wouldn't otherwise be on. In addition, I filter out your inbox. I respond as appropriate. I delete as appropriate. I also arrange the entire date, time, date, location, based on where you live. I am, when I'm working with a gentleman, I am very suave. Because I know what women want. Yeah. So I do.
But what happens though if they get to the date and they're not so suave?
It's less
suave.
It's more I get to the date in a very confident, timely fashion.
Good. Yeah, because
I don't want to do this longer.
But you're helping them too, right? Like you're telling. Okay.
Yeah. So you read the email chain, you show up on your date. It's great. It's great. It saves you all the time. It's funny when I started the business, 7.5 years ago. I'm like, are people gonna want this? Yeah. People want it. Because people want to go on the dates. They don't necessarily want to do the work to get to the date. So if the choice is, to be frank, pay someone to do it or don't do it, many will choose to outsource to pay someone. Yeah, and then to bring it back to the pictures too, like I can't stress enough, no grainy pictures. Yeah, no grainy pictures. People. I don't recommend professional photography if you have great current pictures, but if you don't, then I highly recommend at least someone with a good camera taking your pictures. Outside, not in a studio or anything like that, or with a brick wall like what's behind us here. Just something very natural looking, because no one will care if you paid for them if you look good. Right, I mean, you're gonna use them, I hope you
for
LinkedIn,
business.
sure.
Yeah, you can use that one. You know, they have one professional and then have, you know, 3 other ones.
Absolutely.
Of, you know, just
But
normal.
in my doing that concierge service, a lot of my forte is expediting the process a little bit, kind of cutting out all of the extra chit chat and getting you efficiently from online to the date.
Yeah.
Once you're on the date, it's all you.
Right.
You know, I have no control over it. And once you're on the date, I pull myself out of the process.
Right.
Because I can't have communication anymore.
Right,
with
right,
that
like,
person.
yeah.
Hey there.
Hi, we're back.
We are.
10 times.
Should we wrap this?
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna. I'm gonna try to log off of this Wi-Fi. I don't know what is going on, but it keeps pausing. But we're gonna go on Instagram, so make sure that you follow the dating advisory, and we're gonna get her information too.
Yep.
Yep.
A little nudge.
A little nudge.
That's it. Everywhere you look, a little nudge.com, Instagram, a little nudge, Facebook, a little nudge. My name's Erika Ettin.
Yes, Erica. Yes, that's her.
Oh, and my podcast.
Yes.
I have a podcast called So We Met Online. We have 40 episodes out.
That's awesome.
And I'm biased. It's hilarious.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, thank you for being on the best damn lunch and learn ever.
Thank you for inviting
So
me.
you're funny. I like it. Yeah,
Thanks.
I got some. We're dropping knowledge today. Boom.